Hello and welcome to Miniature Muse. Today I wanted to show you something I created for boot storage because I have these lovely boots. Look at all that stitching on them. These are from the Mini Brands fashion packs that I recently opened. I love the boots, but you know what I don't love about the boots? That I can't easily sit them in the closet. And while they probably don't need to stand on their own, they could at least, I don't know, sit up. I do put them in the closet. This is what happens. Boom, they fall right on over. So I came up with a solution because guess what? This isn't working. So I designed these little shoe storage kind of open boxes. I printed a few of them for the boots that I do have that are not standing up very well. And as you can see, I have like a bar across the front too to make them stand up. So let me show you what they look like. The boots fit perfectly and they fit perfectly in the closet and the boots are not falling over anymore. And I realized also if you wanted to make this, you could also do this by hand using wood, which would also look just as good. So I decided to create another version of this using wood. And I was hoping to use one of the multiple pieces of wood that I have around the house. I have a lot of wood and a lot of these different sized, what they call them, tongue depressor or popsicle sticks. So I pulled out my popsicle sticks and found one that was as close as possible to it and checked the measurements against it and started checking measurements for wood against other stuff. And I finally figured out it was like 2.5 by 1 1/4, which are the 3 sides, and then 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, which would be the bottom. And now I just needed to find something that would work for that little bottom ledge. This is when it finally hit me. You've got about a couple of centimeters in there, so you don't need the total width of that wedge from top to bottom of the little stand. That you only need part of it, and that's I finally figured it out. I also pulled out a dowel, wooden dowel. I have a couple different sizes of those and picked the one I thought was thickest, and that's what I'm going to use for the top middle piece. Now this is where I wish I could find something in my basement to cut with better, but I sat there, yes, and painstakingly cut all of this out, switching blades with my X-Acto knife, but I got it done. And after sanding it down, I was ready to go ahead and put everything together. So I like using a toothpick. This is my E6000. Yes, I could use wood glue, but I've not had a problem with wood in E6000. So why have more than the 20 glues I already have? I love E6000 and that's what I'm putting this on with. And toothpicks, you can buy a multiple pack of them and dispose of them so I don't have to clean anything off. So you'll see me using toothpicks a lot for glue. So yeah, I'm just putting it around the edges where I know that the pieces need to touch so that it can all, stick together and not fall apart. I like E6000 because it has like actually a pretty quick hold. Now, it's not an instant hold, but I think because it's a gel, it's gonna like hold things together easier than a more watery glue. And to me, it's actually so much safer than using that glue that instantly bonds. And darn if I can remember the name of it. You know what I'm talking about. Stuff that sticks your fingers together. So here I am gluing it. Oh, super glue. It's super glue. Darn. I don't even use super glue. I had too many nightmares with it. E6000 I can at least get off, even though you see that it's already holding those pieces together. Already. They're standing up, right? It's going to need a little help. So I decided to tape it. This is the best thing I could think of. I can't clamp it. This is masking tape, so it's going to come off nice and easy. And I'm just trying to make sure where everything is aligned. Somewhere down in the basement is my jig that I could have totally used, but it's cold out there, y'all. And all the multiple things I have in the basement, well, technically in the garage, are taking their time getting out here till it's warm. And then, boy, will it be on and popping when I can get to everything. So I did cut down my little small piece of wood just to go on the bottom to get as close as possible to this. And actually, you can probably see that gap in the back and the bottom. You won't really see it once the boots are in there, but if I could find it, I probably would have put a little bit of my little wood, stuff that you put, wood filler. I would have put wood filler in there and filled that up, but I did not do that, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go without that. Okay, so now I've got most of the box together and the little front piece all taped on. I stuck my dowel in there, and I did get a little bit of glue on the very front, but I just wiped that off because it smeared a little bit of glue on the way in, but that's not a big deal. I just stick my finger in there and just wipe my finger off on something. But now the dowel's in, I'm going to take a piece of masking tape and I'm going to put it across the top. I have to make sure everything is straight, of course, but I'm going to put it across the top of this and hold it from the front, and that will give it a secure hold to hold the dowel in there, and that should work. Okay, it is the next day after I've let it dry overnight, and I'm carefully pulling the masking tape off. Sometimes the glue seeps out and it can get caught on the tape, so I just hold the piece that I'm pulling it off of and to keep it from moving, and it came out just fine. So we're all good to go. It looks pretty good. It's holding up and it's sturdy. Now I'm just checking the size of our master, I'll call it, the one that was 3D printed, and it's looking pretty good, right? The dowel's almost in the same exact place as that bar. It's the same height, so it should work for our boots. And then while I was tempted to paint it white, I decided I was going to go with black. So I'm just going to paint it black. I love to start with the inside and the corners and stuff. But you've probably seen a whole bunch of people paint before, so you probably don't want to watch all of this. We'll be back. Okay, so we gave hours for the paint to dry, and because it looks dry and I would like a little bit of a sheen to it, not glossy, just some sheen, I have satin. So I have Mod Podge, which, if you've ever used it, it's a little bit thicker to brush on, and then this varnish that I recently got from Ceram Coat, which is a little bit more liquidy. But I used it on that bar set, and I really liked the shine that it gave it. Even though it was satin, it wasn't too glossy, so I thought it looked really good, and so that's what I decided that I'm going to use on this. I don't care if I put it in the tray with the black, and that way if I see any spots as I'm going along with the varnish that I need to put black on, I'll just touch it up with the black and then put the varnish right on top of that. I do everything the same way inside, the corners and stuff out. Now how you choose to do it is up to you, but since I'm holding it on the outside, the inside is probably the best place for me to start. I try to make sure that I smooth it out because it is a little watery, but you want it to spread on thin as thin as possible. Do you see that shine already coming? The sheen that's already showing up on it? That is what I like about this varnish, and it looks really good. So I think we're going to have a really nice sheen piece. And there we are, all painted up and ready to dry. So after it dried, it was time to bring in our boots and compare the 3D printed version of the boot stand with the handmade version of the boot stand. And I'm going to tell you, I'm really proud that I figured out how to make this look just like the other one. So I have the same exact pair of boots. I got duplicates, so I'm going to compare with the same pair of boots. They go in there pretty easily and smoothly. That bar, as you can see, you see how they're trying to fall forward? Is going to keep them from falling forward. So that's why the bar is so important. Now I could have made these taller, but generally these are going to keep the boots up anyway. But I'm not really appreciating that one little boot wants to fall to the side. So then when it hit me to go get a dowel and just cut it down to size and then see if I could have that stand up. Now it's not really important once it's in the closet. They're not really going to fall too far. It was just me being annoyed. But an extra tip, if you decide that that's something that annoys you, just go cut down some dowels and stick them inside, and you'll see that the boots are standing up so much better now. Yep, just comparing them. again, one last look before we figure out how to stick them in the closet. I don't think I'm gonna hand cut any more wood, but when I do find my little table saw, the little miniature one, I could make some more wood ones because that might work for a different type of closet, right? You may not want one that's 3D printed because of the look. The wood one goes better, and if you wanted to stain something, that'd be even better, right? You got wood that you can stain. So I did, as you saw, I think in the beginning, print 3 of these. And so I put all the boots into the closet. And yes, that is a Barbie closet from years ago. One of the best purchases ever for me to get from Mattel. I think as part of the Barbie Club, like a long time ago, was when you were able to get them. I know if you look for them now, they're probably like $100 something, if not more. I think I got it for sale, or not for, it was for sale, but I think I got it on sale. And I should have bought two. I started two, but I just bought one. I wish I had gone ahead and bought two, but I think I paid like 25 bucks for this closet years ago, and I still love it to this day. It works well sitting up on the shelf. So wait, all the different types of boots are going in there, including my beautiful white ones. It's going to make the closet feel a little bit more organized. And here they are, my denim boots. I love these boots. And I just made a shorter version to hold them up because they also did not want to stand. But that's okay. They don't need a bar in the front of them because they're so short. The top of the boots are not trying to fall over. So if you wanted to make a smaller version, you can do that too. Just cut the size down, measure it up against the boots that you need to put in. And if they're shorter, you don't have to worry about the little bar because they're not really going to go anywhere. And here are the boots. I got 2 rows sitting there, nice and neat and not falling over and falling into each other. I just wanted to show a close up because it looks good, right? I love it. Yep, take it all in. Take it all in. I wanted to give you a quick peek at a project that I finally am going to work on. Yes, I've been opening up a lot of balls, showing you a lot of stuff that I bought, all that good stuff, but it's time for me to actually do some real work. And that work is actually working on some projects that I have been thinking about for quite some time. This is the contemporary. I gave you a view of the setting it up. Still needs to be set up. I haven't finished the dining room because I think I'm going to update it. Again, I'm always updating it. But I've got to get these projects done, which means I've got to finish setting up this house. But while I'm setting it up, because it does have furniture, I am going to be designing a front porch. It's not really a porch, a front deck. I want to do a front deck. The reason I want to do a front deck is I just want to do a deck. And look at the design of this house. There is no appropriate place for me to actually put a deck, to the side, to the back, whatever, just because of the setup, right? So what I've decided to do is, because of the way it is set up, I'm going to eliminate this right here. That I did make this myself. It's not really flat right now, a little bumpy, but anyway, I'm going to salvage the flowers. I think I can salvage the flowers out of this piece. I'm going to take that off of there. I really like this piece though. I'm going to take this off of here, salvage what I can to put it into the front yard. The plan is to create a deck here that aligns with this. I wanted to go up. I wanted to do levels, but I can't do levels because the window is here, right? And it just would look weird trying to take up space and looking up at people out the window. So I'm going to try to keep this as level as possible over here, start the deck over here, and then bring the deck out over here and create a front yard here. It's going to be a challenge because I don't have one flat, long piece of wood that this sits on. So that's going to take me a minute to figure out how do I want to do that. And I need to be mindful of this step needs to open over here as well. How do I start the deck so it doesn't interrupt or get in the way of me opening the side of this for the dining room? It's going to be a challenge. So what I'm thinking is I will run a I will start running a wall from here, this piece, that doesn't interfere. So that when I come to the other side, I can open this and run it along here and have a wall there of, or fencing, I should say, not a wall, but fencing here. And then I want to be careful about putting fencing on the side over here and then running it down here. And so I'm going to build a deck that comes here and it goes down. The thing that the thing that I want to do that I can't tell you why, I just need to do it, is I'm really just dying to have a step or two with lighting. And I envision, I gotta move this back, but I envision also having definitely stairs gotta come down off of here because, well, you gotta step down. What else are we gonna do? I had some wood, I gotta find it. I thought I had some wood, I'll just have to build this up to make this flush. I did have a piece of wood under there. Probably misplaced it somewhere in my move. So I'll just build something that goes there to make this make sense, to kind of close that off right here. And then probably here is where I'm going to be able to put the lights in the stairs. But I kind of envisioned something. I only have but so much room to work with. That's the even crazier part, right? My vision doesn't match my space. Because I want to like be fancy and kind of curve it, but I'm going to have to think about the design really and how I do a walkway up here. And then I think I may even build like a small sitting deck area right here and then take it to grass over here, which is going to take me a minute, but I'm going to show you how I figure out the spacing. I'm going to measure, design, and then create a deck. I already have an idea of what I want to do as far as putting lighting, and I want it to be a modern fence that comes down here and gives privacy. The only place I can do it is in the front yard. This is a limited amount of space, but I think I can do it, make it work, and make it look good. I don't want to take this is painted cork. I don't want to take this off of here because I really like it. I like the look of it on the front porch. I would love to add a light here. I do have a hanging light up under here. I showed you in a prior video. Well, you can't even tell the light's on right now because it's too bright. But yeah, I want to do that. Anyway, these are the things I'm going to be doing in my next coming videos. I'll do a little series because I don't know that I can knock this out in one video without it taking just too much time. And I will want to show you what I think about as far as designing. I want to put some lights also, like up the walkway, which is going to require me pretending I know how to use battery operated lights and then figuring out how to design the lights that I want to go in here and how to make sure that they stay straight, which I suspect will be me building a little piece of wood or designing and printing something that the lights can come up out of that will hold them steady with a channel in them that runs the wires over to battery operated pack that can sit somewhere over here on the side of, I'm not even sure where on the side of the building, maybe behind the fencing. Yeah, all of that I swear I can do. So let's see if I can do it. So join me as I work on putting this deck together. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.